I've not seen such bravery.
Through the years, gaming has taken me to some incredible places. From Corneria to Sector Z, and all the way to Venom. Wait a minute. The point is that in games today, you can find almost any setting to venture off into. But it wasn't until 2005 that somebody finally provided gamers with the environment they've always wanted to explore. An apartment. Okay, so maybe Façade wasn't the first game to feature an apartment. I don't exactly keep a list of games that have apartments in them. Although the setting might not seem like anything special, the game itself is actually pretty unique. Now let's just take a moment to remember that unique doesn't always mean good. Yes, this was unique, but so is this.
Have you ever seen yourself on TV or on
Released in July of 2005, Façade came to be known as an interactive story. The concept is fairly simple. You play as a friend of Grace and Trip, who invite you over for a few drinks. When you arrive, you quickly discover that there is a good amount of tension between the two, and it's noticeable before they even answer the door.
I know, I'll do it right now, alright?
You know, I've had to ask you about
Get
this
off my
several...
back. I'll get rid of it in just a minute.
It's also noticeable that Trip is kind of odd looking. This has to take place in a dimension where wearing pants above your belly button is fashionable. But I mean, I guess that's better than
Gangsta pants. Gangsta pants.
All you can really do in this game is participate in conversation. You're not given pre-written lines to choose from though. You're able to actually type in what you want to say and see how Grace and Trip react. On top of that, you're able to interact with some of the objects around the apartment. There's supposed to be a little hand that acts as your cursor, but it didn't appear in my recordings, so I don't know, deal with it. What do you want me to do about it?
Don't bother answering. I don't need to hear it.
Now, I'll admit that I'm a little late to the Façade party. YouTube has plenty of videos with people messing with Grace and Trip, seeing as how you can literally say anything you want to them. Even with all of these videos out there though, I only found out about the game a little while ago. The creators of the game offer it as a free download from their website, so I knew I had to try it out. Before the game actually starts, you're able to choose from a list of names, and lucky me, mine is one of the options. Now I will be able to fully submerge myself into this interactive drama. I immediately start testing my boundaries by giving Grace a hello kiss, or two, or three. All the while, Trip is standing directly behind her, seeming perfectly content to just watch. The phone rings, so I perform my duties as guest by answering it and running off into the kitchen. Realizing the call must be for Trip, I try to shove the phone in his face, but end up kissing him by accident. The desire in his eyes is obvious, so I throw down the phone and just go for it.
Alright, Ian, that's it. You've got to leave. Invited you over, but this is just not working out. We'll be fine. You should just go.
This is one of 4 basic endings I was able to achieve. The easiest, and quite frankly the most fun to achieve, is getting thrown out of the apartment, or not even being let in the first place. This usually happens because Trip deems something you've said or done is inappropriate. I've even been thrown out for just standing in the doorway.
Alright, Ian, that's it. You've got to leave. We'll be fine. You just have to go.
The second 2 endings involve either Trip or Grace leaving the other, effectively ending their relationship.
But thank you, you really helped me.
Grace? Grace!
Jesus Christ.
In the 4th ending, you're asked to leave so Grace and Trip can patch up their marriage. I suppose this is the ending you're trying to achieve. Grace and Trip stay together, and you're allowed to leave the incredibly awkward cocktail party. Everybody wins. If you're actually going to try to play the game like it's meant to be played, you have to buy into the world around you. That's kinda hard to do when the game keeps doing shit like this.
I'm gonna fix us some drinks.
Okay, something has to be said about the graphics here. They're so bad. I know the game's focus is on the dialogue, and I know it's a free download, but that doesn't change the fact that it looks like a piece of shit. There are white edges around practically every object. The environment looks like it was made in MS Paint, and the character models are just, well, look at them. 2005, the year of God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, and dat ass. Grace and Trip really only want to talk about a few select things. Grace always wants to talk about how shitty she thinks her decorating is.
You can help me understand where I went wrong with my new decorating. Decorating.
And Trip always wants to make me a drink.
What we really need here are some drinks.
Oh, is that what we need?
Drinks.
Or talk about his picture from Italy.
Italy.
Try as I might, they were intent on talking about these 3 things. Even flat out saying that I didn't want to talk about it didn't help.
Take a look at this photo I just put up from our trip to Italy a couple of weeks ago.
No thank you.
No. Come look at this Italy photo.
Oh, no thank you.
No. Come here.
No.
No. Come take a look.
Somehow these three topics always end up leading to Trip and Grace fighting. No matter how many times you try and prevent it, they're going to argue about something. In the hints section of the main menu, we're told that Grace and Trip tend to respond to agreement, disagreement, praise, criticism, flirtation, conversation about divorce, sex, questions about their life, explanations, and advice. That seems to be a pretty broad range of topics, right? Sure it does. Unfortunately, it feels a whole lot more limited when you're actually trying to play the game. Most of the conversation I tried to make resulted in some stammering and confusion from Trip and Grace, and then they just went on talking about whatever they were talking about before.
You know, at work I waste all day designing ads for decorative objects like these sculptures. And then it makes me think I want to design... so
I just had to have these sculptures.
It seems like most of your power resides in the yes or no questions. Even then, sometimes their reactions don't seem to match the answer you gave.
a person in a marriage should fully trust the other person, right?
What? Oh, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, Grace, I love you.
Oh
You're
my
my
God.
wife. I love you, and you're accusing me.
I don't even know what.
Alright, this apartment is fucking creepy. Trip keeps phasing through walls, and both of them keep sneaking up behind me. And I'm not one to care too much about foul language, but even I think somebody here needs to invest in a swear jar.
Goddamn Italy.
Goddamn second honeymoon.
Goddamn slumming it off campus. God damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it. God damn it.
Mix in the inevitable argument, and let's just say this is not a cocktail party that I'd like to attend. The more I play, the more I feel like my input really isn't that important. The game keeps bringing up a handful of specific issues or questions, and the outcome depends on how you handle them. But most of the time, my attempt at a response goes right over Trip and Grace's heads. So basically what it ends up being is a glorified choose-your-own-adventure book. So this entire time I'm trying to keep Grace and Trip together, but nothing really seems to be working. Wow, this is actually pretty challenging, I thought to myself. But just when I was about to give up, I did it. So now we can see the full story unfold. Trip greets us at the door as usual, then goes to get Grace. Grace tells us to make ourselves at home, while Trip observes.
Take a look at this photo I just put up from our trip to Italy a couple of weeks ago.
Ah, the Italy picture. A classic Trip move.
Trip, darling, your obsession with that photo is making our friend uncomfortable. Yes, well, Trip can get overly obsessed.
Grace moves in close and the dramatic music starts.
Time for a drink. What would you like?
Things are about to get serious.
You know, ever since we got married, I can't help it. I'm forever buying new furniture and redecorating. I really enjoy it.
Grace wants to talk about decorating and Trip is an asshole and makes off with my drink.
Okay, anyway, I forget what we were talking about. Ah, you're driving me insane!
Whoa, what a change in the mood. Seriously, who goes from
I forget what we were talking about.
to
Ah, you're driving me insane!
that quickly? That's gotta be skipping a few rungs on the conversation ladder, because that's a thing.
It's just decorating, for Christ's sake, you're turning it into some
You know,
big
Trip,
issue.
if you hadn't convinced me to go into advertising, I could have painted that painting on the wall instead of buying it.
So Grace apparently wants to be an artist, and Trip is oppressing her creative spirit. Many goddammits ensue.
Your goddamn art insanity.
God damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it.
I've been having an affair.
What? This is not a conversation you should be having with a third party present.
I'm going to give you the truth too, Trip.
What?
Oh man, this should be good.
I painted this.
Seriously? Trip admits to an affair, and Grace counters with, I'm an artist.
I am an artist, Trip. Fuck you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the equivalent of, dude, I just won the lotto. $35 million. I just remembered how to make these ninja stars out of paper. I mean, your thing is cool too.
This changes everything.
Does it really?
You felt very alone, and you had an affair.
You really have to be an artist.
I guess they really find both of those things to be of equal importance. Well, Grace and Trip both stay in the same apartment. I think that qualifies as the good ending. Good enough for me, anyway. Now, did you notice anything strange about our conversation? I went through the entire game, didn't get thrown out, and kept Grace and Trip together, and all I had to do was say yes. From the moment I walked in, I literally said nothing but yes, and I quote-unquote beat the game. Now this just goes to show how flawed the entire delivery is. If you can more or less achieve the desired outcome with a single word, then that just makes all the other conversation unnecessary fluff. Sure, it can be fun to see how Grace and Trip react to things, but ultimately anything other than yes isn't necessary for them to stay together. The one thing keeping me from completely writing off this game is that there could be another ending that's better than this one that I don't know about. If there is, then awesome. If not, then
God damn it.
Façade won the Grand Jury Prize at Slam Dance Independent Games Festival in 2006, and it was a finalist at IGF in 2004. It was also recognized in many other forms of media, including making it into the book 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die. Personally, I'm not sure if Façade meets all of my requirements for me to really consider it a game. Kind of like Dear Esther. I don't consider it a game, I refer to it as more of an experience. Façade is more of an experiment. It's an experiment in interactive conversation in a game. Whether it succeeds or fails, Façade tries to adapt to anything the player says. Unfortunately, I think it's going to take much more than some pre-recorded lines, plug-in names, and clunky drama to convince me that this could work. Now, I would like to see this kind of technology implemented into a game, but it would have to actually be fully functional and capable of fluid discussion about a broad range of topics. At the end of the day, I don't know why you wouldn't just go out and talk to an actual person instead.